Hey guys, how's it going? So I haven't been on here for a long time. I mean, a few months, but basically I came to a head at what I can do with the car. The turbo build is not going to be complete this year, so I've decided to kind of go away from that, and I'm gonna get the car drivable for this year, so I can at least have a month or two where I can go out and enjoy it at least a little bit. So that's kind of currently where things are at. I did get the distributor process totally done. It was close on the last video. I mean, it would run and everything. I haven't really changed a whole lot. The only thing I really did was complete the bolt pattern change, and there's a couple different ways to do it. One of the guys on the Prelude pages showed how he took the B18 distributor and completely changed the bolt pattern on it to match our B20 heads, and I know that's an option. I went with something that's probably not considered as good of a choice, but the B18A, B18B, B20, B and Z, or whatever, out of the CRVs and the Integras, those cam caps, at least the end one where the distributor sits, will technically interchange with ours. I know you're supposed to have a matched set whenever you do such a thing, but I mean, as far as it concerns me for my own personal car anyhow, I don't know that I would, sell this mod to someone else, but if you can swap over camshafts that will fit in there, and there's no such thing as throwing in a bearing or machining a head to accept a cam, I figured that this would be close enough. So I'll kind of show you what I did here. So this bottom right one is totally in the stock location, didn't have to modify anything. This right here actually has a different cam cap on it. You can see how much shorter that bolt is compared to that length. So it actually brings this bolt hole higher to fit onto the B18. And then down low here, I don't know if I can get a good shot, but that one I ended up the hole in the distributor, like where this bolt hole would be, I had to come down pretty far. I had a little Dremel tool that I came down. I'm almost at the base of this with the hole, and I actually had to take a grinder and actually get a little bit of that material removed. And I actually took the bolt and I cut the washer flat on one side for this corner back here. So that was probably the most painful bit of it, but the bottom right bolts right up. The top one, you can do the cam cap change like I did, or you can just machine down the distributor itself to the correct bolt pattern. And then the back one, you definitely have to actually machine the distributor itself. I'll throw some images of one of the guys that commented on my previous video, and he put some pictures in there. I'll ask for his permission first, but I'll throw those in there if he doesn't care. And then, I mean, yeah, like I said, I'm just going to run this NA. The stock manifold I had to basically destroy to get off, so I could put the turbo manifold on there when we were doing the charge piping and everything. But so I ended up getting one of these OBX headers. They only make them for the B20 A5s, which have the two single wire O2 sensors. So I just found some O2 sensor, whatever you want to call them, plugs, and I got some copper washers, and I found the plug and a copper washer for the EGR, which is no longer here. And then some of you guys saw on Facebook, but I also decided to do my own variation of a power steering line. So all it is, well, actually I have a spare housing here I'll bring over for reference. I took this and I basically got a standard 6AN fitting, just like a male to male or whatever you really want. And my welding buddy, Diamond Fab, I'll tag him in the comments, cut off the bottom portion of the threads, stuck the bolt straight to it, and welded it, and he even powder coated it for me, which was very nice. And then I had this line made from Pegasus Auto Racing Supply. The whole reason I went with someone like that instead of making my own is because normal AN fittings and lines generally are only good to 500 psi, and on average Honda power steering systems are rated up to 900 psi or up to upwards of 12 or 1300 psi. I don't know what our model in particular is, but I figured I'd get a nicer line to be safer than sorry. So it actually has this high pressure crimp fitting. This is a 120 degree fitting, and I think it was like 52 or 54 inches of length. I'll check and try to throw that in here. And then it runs straight down. I don't have the car jacked right now, so I'm not going to be able to show you where it goes into the rack. But down there at the rack, it's I think I did a 45 degree fitting, but the 90 degree fitting would actually probably be better. It's a little it's kind of tight down there, and I have to kind of massage it into place. But yeah, it'd probably be better to get a 90 degree fitting down there. Then as far as sealing it, I had got since this is all -6, to fit onto the rack, it was a -6 male fitting that went into a 14 by 1.5 male ORB fitting on the back side that goes into the rack. I had to actually cut that bolt down a little bit because it was too long. By the time you got into the rack itself, it wouldn't bottom out. There's no way to put a sealing component in there. So what they sent was a aluminum crush washer, and I'll actually show you a couple of the washers and stuff that I've gone through here, if I can find it. Okay. So I had used this aluminum crush washer, and you can see on the real fine like kind of polished section, you can see where it sat from about here to here, and it was totally crushed. As you can see, it's destroyed. But in this corner, it would not seal because where that fitting is on the bottom of the power steering rack for the high pressure line, there's not a large surface there, so you can't really use it as a sealing surface very well. So what I ended up going with was one of these. It's actually, I believe, meant for an oil change on like a GM product or something of that nature. I don't know what the base metal here is, but it's got a good bit of rubber on both sides. Seems like there's more on one side versus the other, so I put the side with more rubber towards the power steering rack, and it's holding so far. I don't know that I would suggest everyone go out and start doing this over like potentially ordering the one reroute kit that Sean One Fun Ride has supported for us. But yeah, that's what's worked for me. If it happens to not go well again, I guess I'm going to try an actual a AN ORB O-ring and see if that seals up. But yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see how this goes. But I'm excited because I don't know. I just think it's a very clean look. The most expensive thing was this hose, which was about $200 after getting shipped. And I mean, besides that, it's just a couple fittings and having someone able to do some welding for you. But yeah, I got slim fans mounted up front. I wire them into the factory connectors, so the cooling system works as factory. And yeah, just so you know, if you get one of these aluminum radiators and you want to use the factory cooling solutions, okay, there it is. The this sensor is actually the one that will kick on your coolant fans, and as you can see, I had to cut out a little bit of the ridge of the front subframe. At some point I may throw some reinforcement there and have someone weld that little portion of the subframe up. But yeah, I had to actually notch that out because on this radiator the sensor points straight back, whereas on the factory one it actually comes up a little bit with an angle, so it will clear the factory subframe. But besides that, you know, it went together fairly well. And yeah, I got fluids in it, ran it. I'm about to adjust the rear coilovers because it's fairly low up front, and well, it's jacked right now, but whenever this is down, it's pretty much tucking tire. And in the area I'm in, which is kind of new-ish to me, I'm not sure how the car is going to handle out here, especially with so many things being changed on it. I want to try to keep it reliable and safe if needed to be towed or something. But yeah, I guess this is gonna be basically all the little catch-up video. But yeah, the next step for this thing is I'm going to use the 3-inch exhaust that I already have for the turbo build, and I'm gonna have a little intermediate pipe made that I can adapt this OBX header onto. And yeah, so whenever I'm done with this, I will actually probably throw this header up for sale, and I'll just use all the turbo stuff, which hopefully come next spring the turbo setup will be going. At least, you know, I really hope so. So I'll catch you guys on the next one.